It's Week 13 of the 2023 season, and our focus is on the Lions' electric quarterback. After his last game, now across 3,000 yards for the season. It's the Lions and the Ravens under the lights on Thursday night.
The seating capacity is 65,000 at Ford Field, and we are right around that number today. A good crowd on hand and seemingly ready to go in the Motor City. Tonight we kick off Week 13 with a great Thursday night matchup between the Baltimore Ravens and the Detroit Lions. Alongside my good friend Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Glad to be enjoying another week of football. And Charles, this is a contest that should make a former defender like yourself very happy, that's for sure, because we got a pair of top 5 defenses in the NFL squaring off, and opportunities to score, well, they figure to be extremely limited.
And partner, you know, my smile is wide because this is a lot of fun for a guy like me to watch, as you noted. And if there's something else that we both know that these teams take pride in, it's how well their defense have done at controlling games and putting them in a position to win. Something else they're proud of, though, how high they rank in the league. And they're trying to use this game to move up in those rankings and become the top defense in the league.
Here's the kicker, Harrison Butker, ready to get this one started. And we are underway from Ford Field. And this will go as a touchback, and they will begin things at the 25. Here comes the Ravens on offense, and the man in charge from Louisville, the former MVP, Lamar Jackson.
You talk about the pause that refreshes. I think it's come at a perfect time of the year for them, hasn't it? You know, the season is starting to wind down, got a little bit of a break. But how about the guy calling the signals? He's got to be excited about that because now he didn't just get a game plan for 1 week. He was able to work on it for 2 weeks. I can't wait to see if they have anything special in store for him today.
They'll start with the option. And not the start he was hoping for there, as he'll maybe get back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. On second down, Jackson. He's going to loft one deep left side here. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete. So now an early 3rd and 10 here on their opening drive. Now it's Jackson. And he's left with no option here but to throw it away.
That was their first 3rd down try of the game, and clearly something was off in the execution of that play. Good news, they've got a whole game left to clean that up and start clicking on those key 3rd down throws.
Fair catch called for and taken right near the 30-yard line. So here are the Lions now coming out for their opening drive. And they will be led out by the youngster, the rookie, their QB.
He had the numbers of a game last week that if you win, you talk about him being a gritty guy, managing the game, getting it done. But they lost. So obviously 2 interceptions, 1 touchdown pass, that's not going to be good enough. Got to get that changed around.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. They'll start this drive out on the ground. And he'll work this one up to about the 38. So they'll come up after the gain of 7 on a 2nd and 3. Back to throw. Callaway to the sideline, and wow, what a catch there. He doesn't get a lot, but he was able to get the feet down complete.
That's a gain of 3. It's 3rd.
On 3rd down. Buckley, he's not going to get there. That won't even be close. It was blown up in the backfield. A loss of a yard, and it brings up 4th. So much for picking it up on the ground on 3rd down. 3rd play of the drive, and this defense showing strong early.
I wonder how much of that was scouting. I wonder how much of that was a gut feeling like, okay, let's just go ahead and sell out here and get after them, thinking they're going to run the football and stuff them early, because they've now set the tone. They've set a precedent right here that if you're going to try and run the ball against us, it could be hard going throughout this game.
Oh, and what a play on special teams here. This is going to be down inside the 5, all the way down at the 2-yard line.
And he's got to be fired up about that effort. I don't think he could have walked down and placed it any better than where he ended up putting the football. That was excellent.
Baltimore set to take over here for their 2nd possession of the game. And they come into this one off the loss over the weekend. But you say if you're going to play a Thursday night game, this is the week to do it.
It certainly is, because you get right back out there. You don't have time to dwell on things. And look, your game plan is going to be a little more limited, but so is theirs. So that's when you just appeal to your top players. Guys, you make plays in this one, we out-execute them, we can walk away with a win.
They'll try to run for it with Dobbins. 4th down now after a loss of 2.
This defense is a difficult one to prepare for, one of the best in the league. They'll come at you from all angles, and they did a nice job there stopping him for a loss.
The punt team on now is from their end zone. They get it away. So possession goes over here on the punt, and the Lions will take over. Back onto the field come the Lions for their 2nd overall drive. And you know, it's certainly a lot of football left to play. We're not into December yet, but right now where we stand, they're in first place in their division, looking really good and looking to be a threat come January.
And are you one of those early holiday shoppers, partner? Are you one of those guys get your list done? Because I think about what every team has on their holiday shopping list right now. What's the number 1 goal? Make the playoffs. Number 2, win your division. Number 3, and I think the biggest goal of all, try to get the number 1 seed so you get that first-round bye and ensure you don't have to go anywhere in January and hopefully get to the Super Bowl that way. And that's a more than acceptable read right there because it's zone coverage, so timing is everything. This time he waits for his man to come open, puts it right on him, and they pick up a first down.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Looking to throw. Callaway. And this is dropped. Oh, it's incomplete. He had a big gainer in his sights, but he could not reel it in.
It's 2nd down and 10.
Back to throw again. Able to hook up with Williams here on the out route. And he takes this just a few yards shy of the red zone before going out. 12 yards there as they keep this drive rolling. It's another first down.
But it appears that they read man defense and went to the out route. And what you have to do in that one is the receiver's got to make sure he works the defender towards the middle of the field to give himself space to cut to the outside and have that ball delivered with good timing, and they got it done.
They go play action here on first down. That's into the hands of Reynolds. And he'll be marked down right at the 15-yard line. Clock rolling as we hit the midway point of this first quarter. Again, he'll drop to throw. Toward the sideline, he will have the first down. Good catch. He was able to keep the feet in bounds. On first down, Buckley. He showed some tough running, but they'll drop him at the 5-yard line. From the 5, 2nd and 4. They'll keep it on the ground. Buckley. And he's going to press this one forward as they stop it right around the 1. On 3rd down, they're going to run for it here. A great effort there to shed the contact, and it helps them pick up the first.
I think they like this drive a little bit better there, partner. Running game helping out, picking up some of the slack. Because remember, the last drive, they went 3 and out.
Here we go now on 1st and goal. Now a handoff up the middle. Buckley, and he's going to take it in for a Lion touchdown. A great play there. His 7th rushing touchdown on the year. And the Lions put the night's first points on the board as they take the early lead. A solid blocking up front from the guys on the offensive line allowed him to get in for the touchdown.
Yeah, some might say that the guys on the offensive line were in concert. I used to have a coach who called it marrying up. Meaning, when you get on a guy, you just stay right there. Each guy has his own assignment. That allowed the runner to make the big move towards the end zone.
Extra point by Bunker is on target. And that makes the score 7-0. So that one a pretty time-consuming 10-play drive. And it ends with a 1-yard touchdown run. This fielded right at the goal line. And taken down just past the 20 at about the 21-yard line. Baltimore about ready to go on offense. Coming off every player's friend, the open week from last weekend.
Oh, there's no doubt about that. Even if you're coming off of a loss as they did, the open week is exactly what you need after you kind of get over it a little bit, right? Rest up the mind, rest up the body, get yourself ready to go. And they have to be eager to play again, especially since they lost the last time out. Part of their struggles last week was getting these negative plays on first and second down. That's something they have to be wary of as this game continues.
First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12. They'll go again with Dobbins. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. On 3rd down, Jackson. Open man is Duvernay. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. That goes as a gain of 36 on 3rd down.
When they've needed a play this year, he's certainly been the guy to deliver it. As this season has gone on, he's been awfully consistent and sometimes spectacular.
So the big play gets him across midfield now for 1st and 10. Jackson with a handoff to Dobbins on the option. Trying to find a lane, but instead he'll get back to the line of scrimmage. And no more. Now it's Jackson. That's complete. It's Rashad Bateman. And it's going to be another 1st down as they'll get him to the ground at the Lions' 30. That one goes for 13 yards, and it moves the sticks.
Well, this is where reading defenses and practice time comes into play. You've got to know what you're running versus zone versus man and how to run the proper route. And they just executed that one pretty well.
On 1st and 10, it's Jackson. And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down. Aiden Hutchinson in there to get him, and that is now sack number 18 on the season for it. And Lamar Jackson, for all the talents of escaping pressure that he possesses, he was helpless to do much of anything there. He had no chance.
Yeah, that's when we turn to your lineman and say, guys, can I get a little help here? And you have to ask politely because, remember, they're blocking for you the entire game. But as a quarterback, you've also got to have the clock running in your head when you need to get rid of the football. But this time, he had no chance. They were on him instantly.
As we check the next-gen stats, you'll see he had precious little time to do anything with the football there. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And he'll just get rid of it. So now on comes the field goal unit, and wow, this is no ordinary try here. This will be spotted just shy of midfield, a 59-yard attempt. Tucker's kick is good, and they are on the board, but still trailing. It's 7-3. So that kick gives them their first points of the game, CD, and it comes on the 3rd drive, but hopefully for them that's a spark that gets that offense going.
Yeah, and I would say if you're the offensive play caller, as you look at your sheet, you're trying to find that part on there that unlocks bigger points. They've struggled with a few drives so far, finally got 3 out of it. How do you find the end zone? That's what he's searching for now.
And Detroit getting set to go now. This drive here beginning probably with a pair of motivated groups. Remember, the offense scored a touchdown on their last time out. Looking to repeat that in Charles's defense. They were very frustrated after giving up 6 the last time on the field.
And frankly, it's just a battle of wills in a lot of ways because you know they're both motivated, they both game plan for this drive, and they both have specific outcomes in mind. To me, it just comes down to who can execute better and which side can step up and assert its will over the other.
After one, 7-3 the score on EA Sports. Second quarter action now from Detroit, and it's the homestanding Lions who have the football as they've got it with a 2nd down and 2 coming up. Well, they'll run it here on the jet sweep. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down. The Lions had 8-3 now. They were losers their last time out. Trying to get back in the win column, but obviously not an easy task here in a hostile environment.
Yeah, always tough to win away from home. But sometimes what you do is you use these types of games as bonding experiences and carry that into the contest.
Throwing on first down. Callaway. He's going to loft one. Deep left side here. He's got a man. Complete. Touchdown, Detroit. Amon-Ra St. Brown. His 4th touchdown on the year. And they are able to add on to their advantage. I'll let you do the analysis, partner, but with every touchdown pass his young quarterback throws and with the success that his team has had, I just continue to be more and more impressed.
Let's both do the analysis. Impressed. Aren't we both?
Yeah.
I mean, and why shouldn't we be? We've seen him improve throughout the year. We've seen him settle in now, and you can see the confidence of the team has grown. His confidence has grown. I think that everyone around this guy feels good about what they've seen, and it's also safe for him when he's driving home to turn on Sports Talk Radio. He's okay.
And he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback. Now the Baltimore offense heading back out onto the field. It's been very much a slow start for them. 3 drives and just the 3 points, CD.
Yeah, if you're into the points per drive ratio, that answer is 1. And that's not going to get it done in a ball game. They've got to find a way to finish these drives in end zones, not having balls go through goalposts.
He'll get 8 on the keeper there. It'll be 2nd and a couple. Well, that's what he can do when he keeps the football. It's not a huge gain, but it shows how hard it can be to stop it.
Yeah, and I thought the defense had that one pretty well contained, and in fact, they probably came up and felt pretty good about what they did. Then they looked up and realized he still got good yardage out of it. He's a tough guy to stop.
That flag accepted, and it backs the offense up a little bit. Now after the false start, here's 2nd and 7. Jackson on the give to Dobbins. And he takes us up to the 40-yard line before being corralled. 12 yards to pick up there. Good for a Raven first.
A good run there off right tackle in an old-school NFL football. The right side, the offensive line, often known as the nasty side. The left side, usually the technical side. Kind of reminds me of the old Atlanta Falcons 2009, 2010. That's how they constructed their offensive line.
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. Option play, and they'll hand to Dobbins. And he still has yet to get on track in this first half as they're going to stop him behind the line. They'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
I have a feeling they'll stay committed to running the football, especially on their early downs. They just haven't had a whole lot of success just yet.
Looking at a 2nd and 11 now after the loss. Here's Jackson to throw. Forced out to his left. And his throw here's incomplete.
That was an interesting look there because as soon as he got outside the pocket, I thought he was going to take off and run for yardage. But what often happens now with these quarterbacks who can move, defenses want to try and keep bodies in front of them, and I think that discouraged him from taking off and made him try a pass downfield that fell incomplete.
Now a shot taken on 3rd down, but it's going to wind up incomplete. 4th down, and out comes Jordan Stout here to punt. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. And a fair catch called for and made at the 12-yard line. So a change of possession here on the punt. And the Lions are going to take over with a long field ahead and a 1st and 10. The Detroit offense ready to begin their drive. Well, the football changing hands here as this offense takes the field. Charles, they'd be fine with more of the same on this upcoming drive. Last time out, they found the end zone for 6.
And they're certainly hoping for more of the same, but the game plan, I doubt it'll just be a carbon copy of the last drive because I think this offense is ready to break out some new wrinkles and try some new things that might be hidden in their playbook. They want to use that confidence to its advantage while also keeping the defense from anticipating what's up next.
A good gain on first has him set up with second and just a couple of inches now from the 29. Back to throw. Callaway. Reynolds with a catch out on the right side. 7 yards there and a first down.
Well, they obviously red man covers their partner, and he got downfield, broke down the defender, made him
What do you mean by that?
Yeah, he made him think he was going to run a different route. Probably thought he was going to take it upfield, and then he curls back inside for the completion.
On first down, Callaway. Throw over the middle, he finds Williams. They'll wind up getting 7 on the play, and it'll be second down.
A 7-yard pickup brings up second and 3.
They'll try the left side. Buckley. And space tough to come by there as he'll get maybe a yard to the 37.
He's brought down at the 37-yard line.
On 3rd and 2, Callaway. This pass complete to Reynolds. And he is going to have a Lions first down as they convert on 3rd and 3 with a nice gain of 7 yards. Got to say, I was a little surprised to see him, Charles, come out in the shotgun on 3rd and less than a yard.
Yeah, but the way the NFL is nowadays, we hardly ever see anyone really run for it on short yardage. So they're going to throw the football more times than not. That was a nice, easy rhythm throw right there, and they pick up the first down.
So after 2 first downs, they get another here. 1st and 10 at the 45. Looking to throw. Callaway. And it's incomplete. Boy, he doesn't drop many like that one. Second down. On second down now, Buckley. And a strong run that time as he's across midfield and down to the 43. So the hand got inside the face mask that time. Looked like a pretty easy call.
And it was, and we saw this in their loss last week. Penalties at inopportune times that led to their demise.
So a big penalty there on the face mask leads to 1st and 10. Back to throw. Callaway. He finds his man. Complete. That's Baker. And they're going to get this down to about the 17-yard line here.
Good strong throw and catch right there. And so far in this game, the alleys have been open for them to get completions, and they're taking advantage of it.
So from the 17 now, here's a 1st and 10. From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. Flush to his right. And they've got this down to about the 12-yard line. To throw on second down. Callaway got his man complete over the middle. That's Reynolds. 7 yards on the pickup there, and now they've got it 1st and goal. Looking to throw. Callaway. Touchdown! Brevin Jordan. A 5-yard touchdown. As his guys have opened up a very comfortable lead. Charles, every time that he makes one of these plays, I think the front office, they get a bigger and bigger collective smile because they feel more confident that they have found their guy, their future at quarterback.
And they should feel that way. It's obvious he's a big part of why they have such a good record this season. You're right about the bright future as well, and by association, a bright future for the franchise too.
Extra point by Butker is on target, and the lead is up to 18 now. A 10-play drive that time, and it's capped off by a touchdown for the Lions. Now after the touchdown, here's Butker on to kick it away. And here comes a return from just beyond the goal line. And in hindsight, probably should have taken a knee as he only gets this out to the 16-yard line. And now Baltimore gets set to take the field. And this, let's face it, an important drive if they're going to get back into this ballgame.
Think about going into the locker room down 21-10 as opposed to 21-3. 21-10, a little more optimism, a little more bounce around the locker room, a little more discussion about how they're going to finish this thing off. 21-3, I think discouragement clouds that locker room.
Yeah, and I think a touchdown much bigger than a field goal on this drive just to get into the end zone and get that momentum.
False start. Offense.
The false start backs him up 5. 1st and 15. Dobbins running out of the gun. Nowhere to go that time. Might have gotten a yard up to the 25. Play action. It's Jackson. And that'll be incomplete. The offense on 3rd down tonight, just 1 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd and 14. Jackson from the shotgun. And he wisely will throw that one away. Here's Jordan Stout now. 39 yards on the punt, give him just 1 yard on the return. And out will come the offense as they take over. Detroit's offense ready to take over. Well, everything right now that they touch on this side of the football, it seems to turn to gold. They've scored on 3 straight possessions. That lead continues to grow. And, I mean, if they can get points here, Charles, might almost be an insurmountable comeback for the other side.
I think you make a great case for that. So I'm going to flip it over to the other side. Could they make the big comeback? Certainly. Am I expecting it? Not at all. I think if we don't see a drastic change in how they're playing, this blowout's going to get bigger and bigger before the final gun.
Now on 1st down, he'll drop to throw it. And that'll be caught by St. Brown. And he's down right around midfield after a gain of 2, maybe 3. On 2nd down, Buckley. And he's going to be stopped up at about the 47-yard line. They'll need 5 on this play to move the sticks. Back to throw. Callaway. And they try to set up the screen, but that almost disaster as it falls incomplete. Very nearly a turnover, but it's 4th down. And here now the punter Fox as he sends this one away. And Baltimore's offense set for this next possession. See if they can put this drive in the end zone, Charles, because it's been a little bit of a rough go at times. They've had to punt the football a ton in this ball game because of stalled-out drives.
So are you saying that you're kind of tired of seeing the punter run out there and do his thing during this game? Is that what you're trying to say?
Well, I mean, I'm okay with it. I have a feeling that this offense, they don't want to see the punter again.
And frankly, the punter doesn't want to run out there anymore himself. He'd love to see his offense put together a drive and give his leg a rest.
And that one off the mark behind him, incomplete. These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. And he's going to have the hook up to Gage. And he'll be taken down, but he does have 1st down yardage. It's a gain of 8, and it'll wind up moving the chains. Coming up at the half, a reminder, we go back to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman. He'll have a look back at our first half as well as a look ahead to what's coming up later this weekend. And the Lions pressure too strong. Down he goes. Aiden Hutchinson able to drop in that time for his 2nd sack of the evening.
He's the NFL sack leader coming into the game, and now that's 2 more that he's added to his total.
He wants some separation from spot 1 and 2 in that sack category. Now following the sack, they'll look to make amends on a 2nd down and 17. Now a man open down the middle of the field. They're going to need to get up and set in a hurry. From the gun on 3rd down, Jackson completes it again to Gage. And it's going to be another 1st down as they'll get him to the ground at the Lions' 45-yard line. Give him 22 there on the 3rd down conversion.
That's the 3rd time on this drive that these 2 have connected with each other. They've got a real rapport going. And right now, it's paying off with big chunks of yardage as shown by that last play.
Now the Ravens going to use one of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime. 1st and 10 here. You know, if they could just get 3 out of this, there's something about narrowing it to a 2-score game at half that makes it feel like much less of an obstacle. And he's going to be taken down at about the 33. Now another timeout called for by the offense as the clock will stop with 55 seconds to go until halftime. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Jackson will throw again. Dance, and he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. Multiple defenders there to drop him for a loss of 4.
That's 3 sacks now, and that's not much of a surprise to me, nor should it be to you. This team, they lead the league in sacks.
Yeah, they do. This is something that we are starting to witness time and time again. Sacks, a growing theme in this first half. This is 2nd and long. Another try after the first down sack. Jackson, nowhere to go here. He lost the football, but it looked like a Raven was able to get in there, and they will indeed keep the possession. And offensively, they'll take the timeout with 6 seconds left in the second quarter. So on 3rd down, the field goal unit will come out as they'll try to get 3 before half. This was the old NFL record distance for decades, a 63-yard attempt. Tucker's kick is good, and that'll get the deficit down to 15. Wow, I mean, it's so rare to even see one attempted from that distance, CD, let alone converted, but he came through with confidence and matches what was Tom Dempsey's 43-year NFL record at one point of 63 yards.
Yeah, I can still see that highlight of Dempsey making that kick, and nowadays we see it a little bit differently because, remember, Dempsey was a straight-on kicker. But these guys nowadays, the range keeps increasing, and they keep putting it through the posts.
So we reach halftime in what's been a fairly one-sided game so far. As we send you down to Orlando, where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
All right, guys, thanks very much. We'll get back with you shortly. But first, let's take a look at what's coming up this weekend around the NFL. We'll start in the early window and begin up in Minneapolis. A tough one for the homestanding Vikings as they'll square off with the New Orleans Saints. Plenty to like about the late afternoon games as well. As you see by the highlight, these guys are in for a battle, taking on the Buffalo Bills. And lastly, we'll be tuned in on Sunday night for what should be a great one between the Green Bay Packers and the Denver Broncos. Next, a look at the next-gen stats in that first half for the Ravens. And they didn't get a whole lot accomplished through the air in those first 2 quarters of play. They'll need to up their game if they want to rally all the way back. Meanwhile, for the Lions, they were even better throwing the football. Lots of open receivers to choose from, and you can bet that'll continue to be a focus in the second half.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. From the end zone, here comes Williams. And in hindsight, probably should have taken a knee as he only gets this out to the 16-yard line. The Lions offense now with a football first here to begin quarter number 3. On 1st and 10, Callaway. Firing quickly, but it's incomplete. So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. Up the middle they go. Buckley. And nowhere for him to go again. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage. That's it. Off the play fake. Callaway. And able to catch it on the left sideline, but they're going to rule him out of bounds. So it'll be incomplete. Certainly one they'd like to have back as it brings up 4th down. Here comes the Lions punter now, standing just outside his own goal line. Now a hit and a loose football.
Recovered by the receiving team.
And that's what friends are for.
Right. As the returner, you know who you're buying dinner for later.
Oh, without a doubt, because he just took care of you and your team in a big way. You know, you turned it over there. That's a big momentum changer and put your defense in a bad spot.
The Ravens offense getting ready now for their first possession of the second half.
And their defense did its job by forcing the punt to start things out, and now, Charles, can the offense get in gear?
I think, partner, you can sense them saying, okay, the first half was theirs, but now let's get the momentum back on our side. We forced a punt. Now let's go downfield and score. If we do that, we'll be set up well for this second half.
Another run here with Dobbins. Give him 3 on the run there. Now they're looking at a third and about 5. Throwing is Jackson. It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect. The Ravens send their punter out now as he'll come on for his 5th kick of the night. And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. And great special teams work here. This is knocking on the door of the 5. They'll spot it at the 6-yard line.
Absolutely love the flexibility of these punters. Their leg drive, able to get it way up in the air, and that allows the punt team to get down there and down it inside the 10 because they've had some time.
And now this offense comes back out onto the field.
They're going to have to go at least 50, 60 yards here if they want to ensure that they don't have to punt the ball like they did last time.
Yeah, so what you're saying is we're not playing to just get out of the shadow of your own goal line, right? You're playing to make sure the punter doesn't see the field again. So it's not picking up a couple of first downs. You want to pick up 5 or 6 first downs and make sure you move the ball into their territory.
Right off the bat, it's a first down to start the drive, 12 yards.
And now we get into the psychology of the whole thing because a lot of teams with a 2-score lead in the third quarter, they almost become defensive with their offense, just playing not to lose. I think with this team, you got to figure at this point, this is a great spot for them to go into attack mode, really try and put the hammer down and finish this one off.
Throwing on first down, Callaway. Finding his safety valve here. That's complete.
Here's 2nd and 9.
Complete to number 26.
Now a handoff up the middle. Buckley, a gain of 2 there on the heels of a 1-yard pickup on first.
They'll be in search of 8 yards here as they hope to convert the first down.
He's going to float this one deep right side. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down. And on 4th down, on is the punt team sending this one away.
Baltimore about ready to go on offense. And Charles, a very uninspired effort the last time we saw them out there. It was a quick 3 and out, then they punted the football.
Yeah, and you never want to get stopped so soundly during a series, but what would be even worse now is letting it happen again right here. They've got to get going.
He finds Bateman over the middle.
Yeah, they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. Give him 10 yards there, and about by the nose of the football, he's going to have a first down.
But one of the ways the quarterbacks keep all the receivers alive in a play, never lock in on any one guy. Make sure you keep your eyes moving, scan the field, and here he finds the open guy for a nice pickup.
And they'll let the quarterback keep it here on 1st and 10.
And he is going to lose yardage here. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down.
I see a shake of the head as he gets up, and you've got to imagine he's thinking, guys, you got to help me out. He's hoping his team can read his thoughts because he definitely needs some assistance.
After the loss, they'll come up 2nd and 13. Now Jackson.
That's taken in by Duvernay.
And he's able to get this to the 40-yard line before he's out of bounds. His 5th catch tonight, and it's good for a first down. They like going to him in the slot. He catches another one.
I think this comes under the heading of until they stop him, why not go back to him? He has something going really well. Great working relationship with the guy throwing the ball, and they keep making the connection.
So the ball moves into Lion territory now. Here's 1st and 10, right at the 40. Off the play fake, here's Jackson.
That's complete, left side to Bateman. And they'll work this down inside the 30.
Well, that certainly has to feel good. It's not all the time that the play caller should get all the credit. Sometimes I think in the huddle, the quarterback just says, hey, who's going to make a play for me? I just need something right here. And the end result there, nice first down. Drive keeps moving.
On 1st and 10, it's Dobbins.
Oh, what a move. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4. From the gun, it's Jackson.
Gets it out quick. It's Gage on the slant. And he's going to be marked down just outside the 10.
Now what we're seeing, this is much better from this offense because so far in this game, no touchdown to this point. And what's usually a direct correlation? Very few explosive plays. That's been their issue. Not able to make that big shot downfield or break one off, but a nice game there for a first down.
On first down, they're going option left. And he is into the end zone for a Baltimore touchdown. Lamar Jackson taking it in from 11 yards out. And the Ravens get a bit closer.
This defense, so many things to worry about in the red zone area, but you'd have to almost think that Lamar Jackson running the football, that might be number one.
It should be number one, and in this portion of the field where things shrink a little bit because the receivers can't run past anyone because they'll run out of real estate, you should have all eyes on Lamar Jackson when the ball is snapped and try and keep it back in the pocket.
Yeah, I don't think that they were surprised he was running it there. They just couldn't stop him, and he ends up in the end zone.
Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown.
Taken at the goal line.
And Detroit getting set to go now.
Still enjoying the lead here in the third quarter despite their defense giving up that last touchdown. Now they'll see if they can get the equalizer here on this drive.
Throwing to start the drive. Callaway flushed out right. And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. Michael Pierce in all of his 340-pound glory gets the sack.
Well, he was really focused downfield, but there was really no viable options. The coverage was too good.
And the defense really quickened the tempo of that play with their pass rush because there was nowhere for him to go with the football. The only place he ended up, down on the ground.
Protection certainly going to need to be a bit better here on 2nd and 16. Looking to throw. Callaway. He's got it to Williams. So the completion good for 7 there. And that's going to set up a tough 3rd and 9. Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. And the throw there going to be incomplete. Here comes the Lions punter now as he's on here to punt it away.
The Ravens ready to take over. The offense running out, and they are charged up, ready to go after reaching the end zone on their last drive.
And normally I'd warn against getting complacent just because they scored the last time out. But I don't think there's any worries with this group right now. This is a hungry group, and they want to keep building off of their last drive. Now they just want the officials to hurry up and place the ball so they can snap it and get back to work.
And he'll be tackled right on the chalk of the 45. Now a pause, and there's an injured Raven in need of some assistance. Hopefully, obviously nothing serious here. Medical staff, though, going to take a peek, and we'll take a break. An option handoff here to Dobbins.
And this has been a recurring theme tonight for sure. Nowhere to run. Back to the line of scrimmage, that's all.
Now Dobbins again on 2nd down. And only a couple there as he'll take this up to the 47.
These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. Looking middle, and that's complete. And it's going to be another first down as they'll get him to the ground at the Lions' 36. With that catch, he goes over 100 yards receiving on the night. Going old reliable there to the slot on third down.
And the slot position has become the bane of just about every defense's existence, because how do you cover? Do you go with a bigger guy to try and use size? Got to try and go with a quicker guy, and sometimes even get out quick there. Very difficult to match up with that slot receiver. That's why they keep going back to him.
And he's had the hot hand. They run the option here on 1st and 10. And the play goes nowhere. Losing yardage back near the 40 at the 39. That's going to wind up a loss of a full 3 yards on 1st down. Well, he had success earlier in the drive keeping it himself. Not here, though.
And sometimes when you have that kind of success, you can fall over the option a little bit too much and not give the defense credit for making adjustments themselves. And that play starts to lose its effectiveness.
Now on 2nd and 13. Jackson going right side here, and that's complete. And they're going to work this down to about the 32-yard line. On 3rd down, Jackson. That's complete to the fullback, Ricard. And he will have a Ravens 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
Well, this has certainly been a nice drive with the way they've spread the football around. Here, they even get the fullback involved in the passing game. That's got to cause a lot of consternation on the defensive side. You've got to cover him, too. That makes things really difficult.
They go play action with Jackson. And this one caught along the sideline, but they say already out of bounds. And the throw didn't give him a chance to turn it upfield, and that brings up 2nd down. They go play action now. Jackson. Bateman's got it on the crossing route here. And it's going to be another 1st down as they'll get him to the ground at the Lions' 13-yard line. 11 more yards there, and this methodical drive continues.
And time to give some credit to the big fellas, the offensive line here, because you've got to have good protection on crossing routes, because you've got to give your receiver time to work all the way across the field. That time, be able to scan the field, spot his receiver moving left to right, and make a good, accurate throw. Thank you, guys.
One quarter remains here in this Thursday night matchup. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now at Ford Field. 2nd and 5 from the 8. It's the Ravens with possession of the football, but trailing on the big board as we get set for the 4th. Escaping the pressure. Into the end zone for a Ravens touchdown. Lamar Jackson with his 2nd touchdown of the night. And the Ravens have a chance to tie things up as they trail by 2 here in the 4th. So the lanes continue to be there for Lamar Jackson to run that football. That his 2nd touchdown run of the game.
You know what I would like? I'd like for us to be able to go into a defense's room after playing Lamar Jackson and watch the tape and see how much of a lane was really there and how much he created just through his talents. In any event, Lamar Jackson finds the end zone, doesn't he?
He always seems to, but that's a good point. We sometimes put blame on the defense. Maybe we just need to praise Lamar Jackson a little bit more. A couple of teams locked into a good one here. 21-all the score as the kick's away. And Williams going to sit on this one. It'll be a touchback. So out now come the Lions. They no longer have the lead after that last touchdown. All tied up in the 4th quarter. And a chance for this offense to mount a potential game-winning drive right here. On 1st down, Callaway over the middle, complete. It's Reynolds. And he's going to get a good gain of 9 here up to the 34.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you've got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go, because he might wander into some tough coverage.
Maybe a good spot to take a shot. Here's 2nd and a yard from the 34. Up the middle they go. Buckley And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. He lost 2 there, and it's 3rd down.
It's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stuff that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that. Got to find a way to audible into something a little more advantageous.
The offense on 3rd down tonight, lacking much success, just 2 for 7 to this point. Here it's 3rd and 2. They'll keep it on the ground. Buckley, and he will have a first down here at about the 40. A strong 8 yards will keep this drive rolling.
Yeah, they really needed to get something going, didn't they? They punted on the last 2 possessions. The running game starting to come to the front for them, providing a nice pickup there to keep this drive going.
So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's 1st and 10. Back to throw. Callaway. And that's hauled in by St. Brown over the middle. And they'll get this down to around the 47-yard line.
And partner, in a tie game in the 4th quarter, you and I both know in the NFL, that's when you lean on your stars. And he came through with a nice catch right there.
So in Raven territory now. Here's a 1st and 10 at the 47. Looking to throw. Callaway. He'll go right back to St. Brown. And a 5-yard gain gets him to the 42. Looking to throw on 2nd down. Callaway. And they're going to get this down to about the 37. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Back to throw again. Got his man complete over the middle. That's Baker. And they'll work this down inside the 30.
It's a gain of 7. Brings up 2nd.
On 2nd down now. Buckley. And he's able to get it down to the 25-yard line. 4 yards the pickup. 1st down.
It's nice every now and then in this game not to see people overthink it. Just hand it to the old reliable guy. Let him pick up the 1st down.
On 1st and 10, Callaway. Going to throw right side here, complete. And they're going to get this down to about the 17-yard line here.
8 yards on the pickup. Brings up 2nd.
To throw on 2nd down, Callaway being chased out left. Got his tight end, that's complete. It's Baker. And the Lions are going to have a 1st and goal as he's taken down at about the 8-yard line. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me, and I'm going to keep firing.
Back to throw. Callaway. Right side to Williams. And in for the Lions, touchdown. Jamison Williams from 8 yards out. And the Lions answer back with a touchdown of their own to break our tie and take the lead here in the 4th.
So, Charles, this game feels like it has been punch, counter-punch all throughout, and that touchdown breaks our tie here in the 4th quarter.
You're making me want to get back in the gym and start training again. You talk about those punches and counter punches. I also think this is where you and I start thinking to ourselves, who's going to make the play to change that, right? Who's going to get out of this little cycle that they're in right now and make a play and give their team a firm advantage?
Now after the touchdown, here's Butker on to kick it away.
This taken in at the goal line. And he will make it to the 20-yard line and no further. The Ravens offense back out there. They now trail by 7 after that last touchdown here in the 4th quarter. What a big spot for this offense. See if they can cobble something together on this drive.
Now it's Jackson. Eluding the pressure right. And he'll just get rid of it. Again from the 20 after the incompletion. Here's 2nd and 10. From the gun, Jackson slings it to Anders, and it's complete. The tight end has it. They get 6. That'll leave them with 3rd and 4.
And Charles, with that completion, I'm told that puts him now over 3,000 yards passing on the campaign.
And Brandon, I think we have to start to think about where we are in the season, because right now, 4,000 is not out of the question. I think a big game or two, he's certainly capable of getting that done.
Now it's Jackson. Open man is Bateman. It's complete. And he will have a Ravens first down as they're able to get the third down conversion.
I like the design that we're seeing right there. This is what they need. Down by a touchdown here in the fourth. They just need to keep working their way downfield. And when they see openings, take their shots.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Here's the option, running right. And down he goes at the 45 after a pickup of 9. A little do-it-yourself run right there, and a nice game.
And I like that he knew that that was about all he was going to get. So he did a nice job of protecting himself, took care of the football, took what the defense gave him. If they continue to allow him to do that, they'll find their way taking what they can all the way to the end zone.
And this has been a recurring theme tonight for sure. Nowhere to run. Back to the line of scrimmage, that's all. Now Jackson taps this forward, jet sweep. And he will have the first down as he gets this to the 47. The drive stays alive, a third down gain of 8.
And this is just a little touch pass. They send the receiver in motion, just kind of tap it forward to him. Now, it doesn't turn into a huge play, but they do pick up a first down, a nice, consistent gain.
Now Jackson on first down. Nothing open downfield, so he'll throw it away. So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down. Jackson from the shotgun. He's going to have the hook up to Gage. And he's got this down a yard or two shy of the 40 before he's out of bounds. To throw again is Jackson. And this is going to be incomplete.
They converted twice on third down that drive already, but couldn't make it a third. We always talk about in-game adjustments. How about what the defense did there, able to shut them down on that attempt.
Here we go. It's Jackson on 4th down. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete. The Ravens go for it, but come up empty. And the Lions will take over.
4th down, and they take to the air, which really isn't a major surprise. But how about the coverage? They're able to bat it down.
We get a look at Amon-Ra St. Brown as his offense readies for the next drive.
And I know that they've double-teamed him a couple times, but not a ton. Whatever they're doing isn't working. He's up over 100 yards. We'll see how they adjust.
And when they do that, they weaken their defense in other places as well. And how many times have we done games where we've seen a guy have a big game like this? But it's usually not by himself, is it? Usually it opens it up for other people to have big games as well.
On 2nd down, Buckley. And he'll lose yardage here, back at the 41. Backed up here, tough spot, needing 11 yards to pick up the first. On 3rd down, Callaway. Now they go screen, it's complete. And he gets this only to the 44-yard line. Not near enough to keep the drive alive. 3 yards, all they could muster there, and it'll bring up 4th down.
Good reactions there defensively. That screen was a little slow in developing, and they shut that one down with little gain.
Here comes the Lions punter now, as he'll come on to kick for a 6th time tonight. And that one hits a little too close to the goal line, and it continues into the end zone for a touchback. This offense returns to the field, led by Devin Duvernay, a wide receiver. They have to like what they've gotten from him in this game.
Think about the accumulation of catches.
8.
The yards per catch now, because you're getting more than a first down every time he's touching the ball. This is the kind of game you want when you're able to throw it out wide.
Absolutely. Over 100 yards, has the 8 catches. They may want to go back to that one. First play of the drive, good for 15 and a first down.
I got the sense that the defense created a little momentum for them there, didn't they?
Did their job, forced the punt. Now, nice start to the drive. Offense has to do their part.
Yeah, they certainly do, but what a great start for them. They got to go thank the guys on D.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Here's Jackson. Flush to his right. And that'll be complete to Dobbins. And he's going to be taken down. Plus, there's a penalty flag in the backfield. They may get 15 more on top of this. Well, certainly those are the types of mistakes they're trying to avoid as they attempt to protect this lead late in the game.
And let's face it, they're hoping that this one doesn't cost them in a significant way. Yeah, one guy committed a penalty, but now the entire defense has to pay the price and try and rise up and overcome it.
12 yards to pick up there. Good for a Raven first.
To win any route, you've got to break down the defender, and that's exactly what happened here on this really nicely executed curl route.
4th quarter, down to the final 2 minutes, and we've got a one-score game. So it's Raven football here as we welcome you back. They come up on a 1st and 10, desperately needing a score here on what could be their final drive. Got a man, and he hits him in stride. And he'll be brought down at the 27. Jackson trying to hustle his unit up quickly to the line of scrimmage. Throwing again on 2nd down, but this time it's incomplete. After an incomplete pass on 2nd down, that'll leave him trying to convert on 3rd and 9. Jackson. And he's got his tight end. That's Andrews. And it's going to be another 1st down as they'll get him to the ground at the Lions' 12-yard line. And that is caught on the right sideline, but out of bounds, says the line judge. The throw took him a little too far at 2nd down. Now an option play on 2nd down. And he is into the end zone for a Baltimore touchdown. Lamar Jackson, a 12-yard touchdown run. And the Ravens are an extra point away from tying this game here in the final minutes. Well, that was all Lamar Jackson all the time on that drive, both through the air and in the end with a touchdown run.
Yeah, how about him doing things a little bit on the reverse side there, Brandon, because he softened him up throwing the football and opened up the running lanes. And when he gets a little bit of a sliver, he's gone. And that's exactly what he did there.
Don't forget the extra point. It's up and good. And, partner, we've got a tie game here in the 4th. So right back to square one, tied at 28 as he kicks it away. And Williams going to sit on this one. It'll be a touchback. Detroit's offense ready to take over. Well, partner, here it is. They've got the chance to win the game. You'd have to think they need to get it near the opposite 40 to have a chance to kick a game-winning field goal. We'll see what they can do.
And you're right about that, because if we look at it in macro, that's what it looks like. But I think in micro, the head coach has already asked the special teams coach, what is he feeling? What does he think? Where does he want the football? What's the yard line we have to get? And he's already relayed that to his quarterback and his offense. They know what the goal is. Now the key, can they get there?
And he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45. 7 catches for him now. This last one, a 1st down.
1st and 10 at the 46-yard line.
Looking to throw. Callaway. And that'll be incomplete. After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10.
It's 2nd down and 10.
Throwing again. Callaway. Buying time to his left. And this is incomplete. So back-to-back incompletions, and that has him staring at a 3rd and 10. They'll look to throw again. Steps away to his left. And that will be incomplete.
Well, the defense certainly did its job. They held up in that situation, and now on 4th down, you've got to punt this and try to get to overtime. There's no decision to be made, in my estimation.
On 4th down, the punt team is on as this is sent away. Fair catch called for right around the 11-yard line. It'll be a 39-yard punt, no return, and the Ravens will get it. 1st and 10 from deep in their own territory. The drive will commence with a run by J.K. Dobbins. And that's not going to help a whole lot. Maybe 4 yards on first down.
Call it a gain of 4 on first, and that'll make it second down.
Now Dobbins again on second down.
And he is going to be stopped here at the line of scrimmage, and time is going to expire in this football game.
4 quarters not enough. We're all even, and to overtime we go.
How much fun is this for everyone who's watching the game? How much fun is it for us to see this one get an extra period to get settled?
And here in overtime, if the team that receives the ball scores a touchdown, it's over. If they don't, we can still have some more football.
That's exactly right. If they go down and kick a field goal, the other team gets or score a touchdown to win the ball game. If both teams kick field goals, the next team to score wins. But if the receiving team throws a pick six or fumbles the ball and it gets picked up by the defense and they score, the game is over at that point.
And he'll be stopped right around where he would have been had he gone down to a knee, maybe a yard shy of there at the 24.
And now Baltimore gets set to take the field.
We think back to halftime, they were close to being written off. They faced the deficit, and now here as we begin overtime, they're one drive away from a comeback victory.
Think about where they started and how far they've come back from. And look, you and I both know that when we talk with coaches, most of the time they don't say that momentum is something that factors into how they coach a ball game, because they say each game is its own entity. But within a game, I think they all believe in momentum, and they certainly have it going on their direction right now.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10.
Dobbins going to take the handoff on the option.
And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50.
43 yards rushing for him now on 17 carries.
They go with the ground game, pick up the first, now in plus territory.
And that changes the whole mentality of a play caller, doesn't it? Once they cross the 50, they feel like they're in the strike zone. All right, you don't have to be in the red zone to take those big shots downfield or go after the end zone. Right now, that might be available to him.
And now this first drive in OT continues.
And they'll let the quarterback keep it here on 1st and 10.
It'll be a pickup of 5 on the keeper. It's second down. Jackson.
Open man is Duvernay. And the tackle going to be made at the 38.
They go back to that well. He's had a great game. Defensively, they haven't been able to stop him. Same thing here in overtime.
And sometimes that goes to the play caller's ego, because a lot of times you have so many different plays you want to call, but when you spot a matchup that's working for you or a player that has the hot hand, keep giving it to him. That tells me you're mature as a play caller, and it's working for them in overtime.
Holding offense.
So that time they got the left guard with a hold.
And let's face it, in today's ball, you might have that 330-pound guy you're supposed to clear out of there. You might need a little bit of extra help by grabbing the jersey and trying to ride him out.
And he's got this down a yard or two shy of the 40 before he's out of bounds. Looking to throw again on second down. Jackson. And this one is incomplete. 7th play of this drive coming up, but a long way to go on 3rd down. Throwing is Jackson.
That's complete. Left side to Bateman.
And a good tackle there right around the 30. Stops him short of 1st down. They do get 12, but they'll be marked short. And that leads to a 4th down.
Brandon, that's a huge completion there. It puts them in field goal range, but let's face it, they don't want 3 here. They want 6. With these overtime rules, a touchdown finishes it off.
Yeah, looking to win it right away. Good to know, though, that they have 3 in their back pocket if they need it.
They'll run for it. It's Edwards.
And try to push his way forward, but I think he's going to be short. And he is short. He needed 2. He only got 1. And the Lions will take over. So they've gone for it twice now on fourth down in this game, and both times unsuccessful.
I wish we could hear the headsets now between the head coach and the offensive coordinator. Now that they're 0 for 2, if they get into a third situation, head coach might say, hey, you got anything for this one? Might get radio silence back.
Looking to throw on second down. Callaway, he finds his man, complete. It's Baker.
Complete to number 87. That's a gain of 4. Brings up
back to throw. Callaway. Now they set up the screen. That's complete. And he went backwards. He'll be down at the 30. It'll be a loss of 4 yards on the play. And that's going to bring up a fourth down.
Well, it looked like the defense, they were ready for that one.
Really left him almost no room to work after catching the ball. He could throw every move in the book at him. They were there, and they tackle him for a loss.
Here comes the Lions punter now. On for a very important punt here in overtime.
A nice return there of 11 to help mitigate a good punt.
And the Ravens, they'll take over.
And Baltimore's offense set for this next possession. They've got some stuff to build on from that last drive because they moved the football, CD, and then they tried to go for it on fourth down, didn't convert, probably left a bitter taste in their mouths.
I would say so, and I think that they go out in this series determined for that not to happen again. In fact, they don't want to get to a fourth down opportunity. They just want to make sure they get it done within the parameters that they've set for themselves. Run their offense, get it into the end zone. Yeah, I think a little bit of determination and a dash of anger.
To throw is Jackson. And that is incomplete. The defense does its job. Now they're going to get the ball here in overtime with a chance to win it.
Major league kudos to them because to get the ball back in this spot, everything was on them. It had to happen, and they pulled it off. They'll get it back for their offense with a chance to win.
Fair catch signaled for and taken at about the 15-yard line. So possession goes over here on the punt, and the Lions will take over. And Detroit getting set to go now.
Well, this is a pretty rare situation here, Charles. You get in overtime, neither team coming through with even a field goal on their first drive. So now, sudden death with the time remaining. Next score wins.
And now I would say that going at it might be a little bit easier for both teams now because they've eased into overtime. That first series, boy, everything on the line then. Now you've seen what a defense is throwing at you. You can make some adjustments, and all you need is 3 points to win it. I wonder if they're wandering back to the huddle thinking to themselves, can we just hit rewind and go back a play? Definitely not the down they wanted to begin this drive by giving up a sack. But for the defense, that's exactly how they drew it up.
So now 20 yards to go on second down after the sack. Work to be done. 2 minutes left in this overtime session and still all tied. On second down now, Buckley,
but only able to muster a gain up to the 8-yard line.
Now on third and long, they'll look to throw. And it's going to be incomplete. He was able to catch it there on the right sideline, but out of bounds, says the line judge. And it's going to bring up fourth down. So they're forced to punt on fourth as this one's away. Taken right around the 44. It's a 45-yard punt, 6 yards on the return. And this offense takes over in great shape right at the 50, 1st and 10.
Baltimore about ready to go on offense. Defense got the better of them last series, forcing a punt. See if they make a few changes in the game plan here and try to get points out of this drive. 1st and 10.
And that play goes nowhere. Taken down, losing yardage at the 50, right at midfield. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. Now a timeout called for by the offense. They'll be down to just one remaining as we step aside here in overtime. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10.
Jackson with a handoff to Dobbins on the option. And a very determined run there as he'll take this all the way down to the 27. Good effort.
Now a timeout called for by the defense. So as they head to the sidelines, we'll head to this break on EA Sports.
They run the option here on 1st and 10.
And down he goes, taking it inside the 10, just shy of the 5 at the 6. Now a timeout called for by the defense. That's their second and last timeout here in the overtime session. We'll be back. And he got it. The kick is good. In overtime, he's able to split the uprights. And joy will reign in the Inner Harbor as the Ravens have won it.
That was an excellent come-from-behind victory, Charles, especially there in the fourth quarter. Both offense and defense were clicking. They're going to feel good about this one.
Boy, are they ever, because the deficit they faced certainly wasn't small. They obviously did not give up on that one, and in the end, how about that come-from-behind victory? They'll cherish this one for a while.
So for the Ravens, their very slim playoff hopes get a boost as they move to 5-7.
And they will be at home for one next week against the Las Vegas Raiders.
Meanwhile, for Detroit, it's a tough one to swallow as they drop back to 8-4 on the year. And they'll be off to Minneapolis next week for a look at new U.S. Bank Stadium and a date with the Vikings.